It's really no secret that Grand RP is my favorite GTA roleplay server, primarily because of how easy it is to join, but also due to the fact that it runs on GTA 5 Expanded and Enhanced without requiring you to downgrade to the legacy version unlike every other roleplay server out there. You have the choice of which one you want to play on, and I also love how Grand RP gets constant updates that add tons of new vehicles, clothing items, and jobs into the game. A nice example of this is the recent Winter Battle Pass, which brings a bunch of seasonal activities, UI changes, and it even rebalances the entire economy to make it fairer for everyone. Not even Rockstar themselves push out updates this frequently, which makes Grand RP by far the best RP server that you can join if you're new to the world of roleplay. But what about money making? After all, this is an economy server where your goal is to progress ahead of other players by slowly building your legal or illegal empire and accruing as many assets as you can, whether they be apartments or supercars. And unlike vanilla GTA 5 Online, your gameplay experience on this server is directly tied to skills that are upgraded through purchasable options if you want to max them out, and these skills directly affect your feats within the game, like driving, lockpicking, and weapon accuracy. For example, you can't just buy a Bugatti in Grand RP and expect it to hit 250 miles an hour right out of the showroom floor while your character's driving skills are still stuck at level 1. And the same theory applies to shooting, because if you want to do the maximum amount of damage with certain guns, you have to fire a minimum number of rounds through that weapon class. And ammo can be pretty expensive here in Grand RP as well, so once again, it all comes back to money. You absolutely cannot function in Grand RP if you're broke. Before we begin though, if you aren't already playing Grand RP, right now is an excellent time to join with the Winter Battle Pass in play, so go ahead and click my link in the pinned comment or description of this video you're watching, and that will take you straight to their official website. There, you can enter your in-game name, email, and create a password for yourself, and that's it. That's all you need to start playing Grand RP. Just download the client, give it a few minutes to set things up for you, and you're ready to make a brand new character in Grand City. And what's cool about joining through my referral link is that you'll also get a small cash bonus at the start of your career, along with 3 sporty sedans, one of which you get to keep for a limited period of 1 week. But if you follow this guide, that 1 week will net you more than enough cash to buy your very own sports car, so keep watching. Alright then, now that you've created your character, the very first thing you should do after exiting your hotel is your beginner questline. This is a simple set of missions designed to familiarize you with the mechanics of Grand RP, but more importantly, the questline will also give you your first paycheck, which you can then use to buy essential supplies, and if you have a surplus, you can invest it into other money-making methods later on. And here's how it all works. You'll get a quest trail on the map, which contains 5 tasks. First, you need to visit the electrical substation over here and fix a few transformers. This should be pretty easy. Then what you must do is visit the post office to collect your sign-up reward. After that, you'll head to the driving school and get your driver's license. And remember, this part here is very important because unless you have a license, you can't drive a car and the game won't give you a free rat loader either, which functions as your default starter vehicle. After securing your driver's license, you'll have to do a few other jobs like planting seeds at the farm and collecting barrels of oil at the oil rig. Then you'll be asked to sell raw materials that you've collected to a buyer, and this will give you some more cash. And if all this feels a bit underwhelming, which it is, don't worry, because this is merely pocket change compared to what you'll be making in a few days. So once you get a hang of the various money-making tools in Grand RP, stick around because things are about to get really interesting. Once you finish your beginner's quest line, it's time to make some real money. And one of the best ways to make lots of money in Grand RP early on, as well as late into your criminal career, is through daily investments. Investments can be purchased from a phone app, and these come in 2 varieties here. You've got daytime investments and long-term investments. I recommend daytime investments at this stage since you're new and you probably don't have much cash on you. The way daytime investments work is they ask you to play for a minimum amount of time, and once you lock in your investment, as long as you play for that time period, you'll get the reward at the end. There's no need to deposit any money up front, so for example, you can make $10,000 per hour with investment option 1 or $40,000 with investment option 3, which requires that you play for 3 hours before logging off. The downside to daytime investments is that unless you play for the amount of time that you selected, you won't get your money. So if you log off halfway, you lose out on your whole investment. This isn't an issue with long-term investments where you do have to deposit some money up front, but once the investment matures, you get back your initial money that you spent with a nice little bit of interest on top. So ultimately, the choice between daytime versus long-term investments depends on how much money you have and the time you're willing to put into the game. Next, we've got daily challenges, and these function similarly to the daily challenges that you find in Red Dead Online or even GTA Online. So Grand RP gives you a set of 3 tasks that you have to finish daily, and if you do all 3 within that day, you'll get a prize container which you can either open for yourself or sell to other players for money. In addition to daily challenges, Grand RP also has achievements which you get just by playing the game. So things like getting a new haircut, putting tattoos on your character, or even buying a drink at the bar will get you new achievements, and the more you progress through your achievements, the more money you get to make. Now, as you can see, Grand RP is literally handing out money just for playing the game, but it gets even better because you also have something called daily login rewards, and these are activated whenever you log in for multiple days in a row. For example, there's a cash reward for 2 consecutive daily logins, another if you log in daily for a week, another for logging in 20 days in a row, and so on. Now, after a couple months of daily logins, you can even get yourself a free car and other exclusive prizes like clothes and backpacks, which increase your inventory space. Next, we've got some office tasks to do for the day. You can find these by visiting the stock exchange and selecting the option, I would like to know more about the offices. Then select the state office option since we don't own our personal office, but we can still do contracts for employers who've put out ads on the job board. You can select any office you want from the job board, and some of them even claim to offer bonus cash on top of whatever the base reward value is within that server. For this, they'll ask you to visit their personal Discord and share a screenshot of you completing the task, but be careful because some of these families are quite shady and they're just scamming players into doing their tasks, and then after you post your screenshot in their Discord, they won't actually give you any cash bonus. Now, I'll explain why people do this and how you can own your very own state office later in this video, so keep on watching. But for right now, all you need to do is 6 tasks for any office, which will complete the contract and give you $60,000 to $72,000 since each task pays $10,000 to $12,000. Reselling is going to be our next daily activity, and for this you'll have to collect a few materials first. Things like copper, batteries, wires, t-shirts, containers, backpacks, masks, sneakers, guns, cars, and even houses. Yes, you can flip houses and cars in this game, just like in real life, if you have the negotiation skills to convince the buyer that you're offering him a good deal. And reselling is probably the easiest and most stress-free way to make loads of cash in Grand RP, as it requires very little grinding other than whatever you do for the materials. And if you've done a bit of mining, or if you've done some office tasks like I was just talking about earlier, you already have a bunch of stuff laying around in your inventory that you can actually sell. The key to being a good reseller is A, understanding what is in demand right now and how much it's selling for, and B, being able to strike a good deal with the buyer. So for example, if you're selling a bunch of copper in bulk, what you can do instead of putting it up for sale on the beach market like small store owners, you can instead post an advertisement and get in touch directly with a buyer who's willing to pay you 200 or 300 grand for a large order. Guns are also high demand items in this game, and you can sometimes sell these on the black market for 2 to 3 times what you originally paid for them. With reselling, if you have good items and negotiation skills, you can easily score $1 to $2 million a month, possibly even more. Now let's talk about a money-making method that's actually very time sensitive, so you can only do it if you're in the right place at the right time. If you open up your phone and select the treasure app, every hour you'll get photos of 3 separate locations where a treasure can spawn, and there's also a battle tab where a single person can come to claim the valuable container. You should probably bring some family members for this one because fights can be quite unpredictable in Grand RP, and you never know who's going to show up and what sort of skills or firepower they're going to bring, so it's best to have some backup with you. And every hour, that's an easy $100,000 per hour, because if you win the battle, not only will you get a valuable container for yourself, but you'll also get a desert scarf container. Solar panels are also a simple way to make over $100,000 to $200,000 a day, because you simply buy as many solar panels as you can afford, you set them up in some place out in the open that get a lot of sunlight, and then you come back once every hour to make sure they're being repaired, because solar panels degrade over time. You can also pay some newbies to install these panels for you, but once these panels have been converted into batteries, you can then sell the batteries for a decent amount of profit. Ideally, you want family members or friends who will help you protect these panels, because the same newbies you pay to install the panels can give away their locations to thieves out there who will then come and steal the panels while you're out doing your various jobs. So if you have a family house, use that, or find some place that's secluded and doesn't see much traffic, somewhere out in the mountains or the desert for example, and keep returning every hour to repair your panels until they've been fully converted into batteries, which you can then sell for 10 to 20 times what you paid for the panels themselves. The more you buy, the bigger your profit margins will be, so try purchasing at least 10 to 15 solar panels at a time. And for my last money-making method in Grand RP, we've got vehicle robberies, which, unlike everything else in the video so far, is a criminal activity. It can pay you a lot of money if you snatch the right cars, but the downside is that you might get caught by the cops and be forced to pay a fine or even spend time in jail. To be a car thief, you first need the car thief skill, which can be purchased for $1.5 million. This is a significant investment, yes, but you should have more than enough money after grinding for a few days if you followed all my tips thus far. Then, once you have the car thief skill, go ahead and steal a few cars to get it up to level 3, which is when you start making the maximum amount of money per vehicle. You also need a level 3 vehicle scanner from the illegal market, which will cost $50,000, and what this does is find the location of a car that you can steal. Alternatively, you can also craft the level 4 scanner, which is the best kind of scanner in the game, by combining a level 1, level 2, and level 3 scanner with a virus USB stick and tracking sensor. Finally, you need a lockpick, which is used to bypass the vehicle security system and break in so you can then drive away with your new prize. Requests to steal cars can be found through the criminal network. You also have to be a gang member or part of an unofficial family to start these, so make sure you tackle that in advance. And there you have it. Those are some of my favorite easy ways to make money in Grand RP. If you're tired of driving taxi cabs and delivering packages to people, definitely try out some of these methods so you can make lots of money in a really short amount of time. Also, as an honorable mention here to wrap up, I'd like to include the license plate business, where all you have to do is buy a bunch of BMX bikes, get them registered at the San Andreas Highway Patrol, and then resell the plates at a much higher price to car buyers. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like if you found this video informative. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Make sure to check out the link down in the description below. Again, that will take you to the official Grand RP website. Sign up, check out English server number 1, which is the server I play on, and join the family, the Hazard Gang, which is my official family. So hopefully you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next GTA RP video. Adios, amigos.